G'day, Mr. Fitz here, hope you're going well. This first tutorial is going to show you the basics of setting up for CNC routing. Before you get started, it's best to check these files are downloaded onto your computer. Your teacher will likely set these up on Canvas for you. One of these files is the setup for the machine and one is a tool store for your library. From here, you guys are going to jump over to your designs. In this particular project, my goal here is to CNC machine these pockets. There's 3 of them, different sizes. When I design this, it's important to consider the tool that I'll be using. In this case, I'm using a 10mm end mill, so the width or the size of my pockets must be bigger than the size of my tool. Another important factor with design is making sure you've got sufficient room around the outside of the board. I need some room to be able to clamp the board down, so my clamps need to be well clear of where the tool's going to go. So a good rule of thumb would be about 25 to 30mm all the way around. Otherwise, you can be careful as to where and how you clamp your work. In your design, you need to sketch and extrude to set the depth of your pockets. And you can add fillets in here as well. The program will do their best to try to work out how to do these, but you can put in some fillets to round the corners. Once your design is finished here, we're going to go to manufacture. The first thing we need to do is to set up our job using this setup tab. Now there's a few steps to put in here, so just take care following this video. If you miss anything, it could spell drama for your job. You want to be really careful we don't make a mistake because you could ruin your project. First thing we need to work out on this is our coordinate system. By default, the program tries to grab this top central point of your job, and that's actually perfect for us. We're going to draw some crosses with pencil on our work, and we are then going to find the center through that, and we're going to use this on the machine to set up our starting point for machining. What's really important we must do on this project to start is to set up a correct axis. So if this long edge of my board is the long edge of the CNC router, this is actually the y-axis, and then running along this way is the x-axis of the machine. So this coordinate system is currently wrong and I need to change it. First, check that you have got milling as your process. Here we're going to change the orientation. Best one to use is z-axis and y-axis. Now I'm going to jump straight down to the y-axis to select here. Now I need to choose a line or edge along the y-axis. So that's the long edge of my part. Click here. You'll see it's now set the y-axis and the x-axis. This is almost correct, except I want to flip the direction. So if I go over to flip y-axis, that there is correct. So what will end up happening is when you load this board into your milling machine, this corner here is essentially the starting point of the machine, the 0, 0. So x-axis, y-axis. That there looks correct. Make sure your model looks the same. Now that that there is set, I'm going to go over to the next tab here, stock, and stock offset mode. It is best to set this to no additional stock. This function, for some reason by default, adds a bit of safety material on the outside, but that will affect your final size. So just take that and say no additional stock. That is all in this particular one. The rest of that you can keep as okay. Now, this little warning might come up. If this is just saying you haven't chosen a model to be used, just go okay. It's just going to select everything inside it. Great. Got a tick there for setup. Next step, we are going to add these pockets. We do this by doing some 2D processing, 2D pocket. First thing we're going to do in this process is we're going to add a tool that we're going to use. Now, click on tool. What we need to do, yours will look a little bit different to mine, but what we're going to do is we're going to add in the St. John's tool store. I might just delete this for now. I've got 2 extras in here. Yours won't have this in here to start with. To add in the St. John's tool store, right click or go to local library, right click and go import libraries. Then from your downloads, you're going to find the St. John's tool store that you have downloaded and add this. This project I'm using is going to be the number 15 tool, which is a 10mm diameter end mill. This is what it looks like, and all of the settings of the tool and the processing of it is preset. Select. You can see it now shows up at the 00. I need to change the coolant to disabled. There's no coolant on this project. And I can also change the spindle speed. This is the speed that the tool is going to spin, to 10,000 RPM. So make sure you've got the right amount of zeros. That's the quickest we can run it. That's going to give us a good result. Now, before you go and press OK, there's quite a few tabs to follow through here. So let's be careful about this. We're going to skip multi-axis. We're going to go to geometry. Here we're going to select the faces we're going to cut. Now, we can do this by clicking the bottom face of our pocket, or you can choose the edge, the bottom edge of what you're going to cut. So I can just simply click the bottom face, is probably easiest. Great, click those three. Now the next tab, I don't need to change that height. Over at passes, this is a pretty important one. I'm going to ensure I turn off stock to leave. That's really important. This sort of gives you a little bit of safety if there's any issues. I don't need that. Let's remove that. I then must click on multiple depths. What this is going to do is I'm going to set the maximum depth that my tool can cut in one pass. This machine and this cutter is pretty good for 10mm, so change that to 10. What it will do, these are called roughing, so it's going to cut thick and deep to start with, and then it will do what's called a finishing step down if you set that, to give a final smooth finish. This one's okay to cut, it's just one step down, so leave it there. And that is almost there. All else I can do here is under linking, this one here. I'm going to roll down to the ramp type. This is how the part enters the work. For soft materials, we can get away by just doing what's called a plunge, which means the tool's just going to go straight into the work and then start cutting. If you've got a harder material, you can use what's called a helix that spins the tool slowly into the work. We're pretty safe here with a plunge cut. All right, that should be all on this tab. Just double check and make sure that they're exactly correct as I've put them in here, and go OK. Now, very quickly, the program works out a toolpath. So this is where the tool is going to go from the start. We're going to check this next by going Actions and Simulate. Now, over here, I can simply just press play to start watching the tool run through its motion. This here's the speed, this little dragger, so it's going to start pretty slow. If you want to speed this up so you can see the whole thing, you can just move it along. And you can see here that the tool's going to be doing these little steps and spinning around. You can always go back as well, back some steps, or back to the start. Good to watch this. This gives you a really clear indication of how many passes and where the tool's going to go. So if for some reason it misses something, or it goes the wrong way or the wrong place, then you might have an issue that you need to look at. But that looks perfect for me. I can exit my simulation. Now the very last step of this is we need to output the file. So what we're going to do is go to post-process. Now before we go further on this, yours won't have a machine set up yet. So what we need to do is we're going to go select post from the library. Now this one is the one I've already added. So let's just delete that. Yours will look like this when you first start. Go to My Post Local, and here we're going to go Import. This is where your downloads are going to bring up the machine. Open. And go Select. That's our machine. Now the last two steps here is to change your program number. It's good to call this, start by calling it what it is. So this is my top pocket machining, and then always important to put your name on the job. If you don't put your name on it, it's going to get lost and mixed up with other students' work. Output folder, this is to specify where you want this to go. Please save this onto your computer to start with, perhaps put it into the folder of your class. Make sure it's in millimeters. You can write a name of the program, that's just going to specify that in the job. And then that should be fine. Go post, and all going well, you should have code is successfully posted. You can click on this little tab to open up the code. What an NC or a G code file is, looks like this. And all it is a series of lines of code that tell the machine what to do and where to go. So it's going to start by turning the machine on. It's going to start by spinning the spindle. And then it's going to go to a series of X, Y, and Z coordinates all the way through to the end. And that's the code. So you can close this when you're done with it. And that is done. So that code, wherever you've saved that, you need to speak with your teacher about what to do with that. That particular code will likely need to be copied onto a USB and taken to the machine or the computer next to that runs the CNC machine. Or your teacher might also specify a particular folder to place that, a shared folder. All the best with your project. The next part of the videos is looking at placing your work in the machine and running it. And I'm sure your teacher will run a demonstration of that as well. Best of luck with your project. We'll see you on the next tutorials.